OK, but look at your bottom of your screen and you'd be hard-pushed to miss it, would you? Let's bring you the news on Xavi then, shall we? And we're hearing the Al Sadd administration has agreed to Xavi's move to Barcelona. What's happened is they have received the payment of a release clause stipulated in the contract. They go on to say, we've agreed on cooperation with Barcelona in the future. Xavi is an important part of Al Sadd's history. And we wish him success. Let's go to Nedum then, shall we? You've had literally 15 seconds to digest that, Nedum. So let's talk about Xavi in Barcelona. I think it's something like 8 La Liga titles, 4 Champions Leagues, a World Cup, 2 European Championships. Not a bad player, obviously. But how does that always translate into being a good manager, and how big a risk is this for his legacy at a club which, let's face it, is struggling off the field and on the field at the moment?
See, I like the appointment. I think that it's not really going to harm his legacy because most people around Barcelona understand what's going on at the club. So for Xavi to come back in, I think it's a huge boost in terms of morale, because here's somebody who is like a fan, who will feel the emotions of that football club at this moment, and somebody who understands the past and wants to create some of that going forward. I think the fact that this is a new Barcelona without Lionel Messi in it, without some of the other stars which have been there and are in the financial mess that they're in, I think he understands that. I think the fans understand that. And if it doesn't work out, I don't think people are expecting the highs of the previous, say, 10 years, but they expect Barcelona to be better. And I think if you can have somebody who was part of the system come back and bring those good days back, or bring better days to them rather, then I think the success can be there. And it doesn't always guarantee success. It might not always work. But I look back, and one guy who I think of is Pep Guardiola. Here's a guy who played for the team, who understood the feel around it, and he helped create the one of the best sides I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. Obviously, they had a different set of different set of players. The talent was different, and so on, and the whole footballing landscape was different. But I think for Barcelona, the rush of having one of their old players be in charge of that team was a huge high, and this is probably the first step in that for Barcelona. It didn't feel like Koeman was going to be there for very long. Didn't feel like the fans were loving him. Didn't seem like the players, he was getting the best out of the players. But now here's a guy who understands Barcelona. And as well, for people like myself, and obviously yourself as well, even though you're like 40 years older, is somebody who's seen wear a Barcelona shirt watching. So I get it. I like it. I wish him all the best. And I hope he's successful, because I think the world football is a lot better when Barcelona are a big part of it and they're more successful.
Oh, I'm just getting over that one. 40 years. Yeah, you might be close there. But there's 2 ways to look at this, isn't it? If you're Xavi, however good a player he was and however good a manager he will become, one way of looking at it is a bad workman always blames their tools. But the other one is, however good an artist, they need the materials in which to create. And which one is it for Barcelona?
I think for me, the Barcelona situation is one whereby Xavi is not going to be asked to come in and win every title under the sun. But I think Koeman was a struggling manager in Barcelona. I don't think he was maybe getting the best out of the players that he has at this moment. I think if Xavi can do that, then the tools that he has at his disposal, like his skill, is going to be making them better. It's not like, it must be really weird to see Barcelona not have Lionel Messi at your disposal to build a team around. But I think if they brought him in, they believe that he can make this current group of players better, and that is the key. So I don't think he's going to be expecting the highs of when there was like Messi there and people like himself and Iniesta in the team, Suarez, all that stuff. But I think he can make them better, and I think that is the key part there. And if he can do that, that can create the foundation for this new version of Barcelona that exists without Lionel Messi at the peak of his powers. And I think he seems like he's probably going to be capable of doing that. So good luck to him, and good luck to Barcelona in general.
Yeah, but Barcelona are in uncharted waters. They're a completely different team to the one he left. OK, what have they done this season? They got a draw against Granada, a draw in Cadiz. They've recently been beaten by Rayo Vallecano. They're 9th in La Liga. This isn't anywhere close to the sort of standards and the side that he knew in his wonderful time there.
No, not Well, but then also that's why the opportunity is there for him, because the squad that they have, all those games which you mentioned, which they didn't manage to win in, they were clear favourites for those games because of the squad that they have and because of the history that they have. So if they were winning those games, they'd be up near the top, and Xavi would probably likely still be in Qatar. So let's be clear about that. The squad is underperforming at this moment. So even though it's a different Barcelona, the opportunity comes because the previous manager lost his job. And I think once he saw that opening, if he believes that he can make them better and he knows that those results aren't good enough, if he didn't think, if those results were deemed to be good enough based on the squad that they had, then Koeman would still be in charge. But that's not the case. So Xavi's there. He's going to come in. He's going to potentially look at the squad and he's going to try and get the absolute most out of them. And I think once he understands the depth of the squad and knows what their potential is, I think that's going to be his goal to try and achieve it. And it might not necessarily be what it has been in the past. But Barcelona have to be better, because seeing them in ninth in La Liga is unacceptable, especially when for some you look at La Liga right now and say this is probably the weakest it's been in our lifetimes. So I get the role that he's got there, and as it stands, it seems like he's capable of doing it because he has a feel for the club, and he had another side playing in a particular way, and if he can get this group of players playing in that style, you'd expect them to climb the league. But whether or not they get to the top is a different matter.
Yeah, and you alluded to Pep Guardiola and what he did there. They were in a slightly better position when he took over from Frank Rijkaard, but there was that balance that I guess managers need. He's still got the likes of Sergio Busquets, but players like Xavi now coming on and coming to the fore could be exciting times. But what Pep Guardiola did was perhaps clear out some of those players who you thought were stalwarts in that Barcelona side and backed those younger ones coming through, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he certainly did do that. And obviously he had a crop of talent around it as well, who were more experienced, who were very important for Barcelona along their path through history. So yeah, Pep was able to do that. But I think overall, that's always been part of the Barcelona model. When you look at the fact that they can bring in someone for X amount of money and somebody from elsewhere, they've still always tried to maintain a sense of, progression through the clubs, like academy system and so on, to be able to make the first team. Like Pep Guardiola, he was playing, it's obviously Messi from the academy and so on, but there were other strikers and attackers playing, but they were playing alongside like someone like a Pedro as well, who he trusted. I think he brought in, he was a big reason, say Busquets was in the team all those years ago and stuff like that. So that's, I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. But that's the way that Barcelona works. And I think in Xavi, he's somebody who would understand that philosophy, understand the importance to the fans and to the club of seeing somebody come through the ranks who represents the city and the fan base and so on. And I think he'll get that, and he'll understand the talent that they have there as well, which has come from elsewhere. And it's always been about blending them all together. And I think if you have somebody who's experienced it all the way through, that is capable of doing that, then success possibly is just around the corner.
Yeah, we shall see.